Alright, anybody who knows me knows that there's certain shit that fucking pisses me off. I don't like bullies, I don't like liars, and I don't like people who hide behind religion as an excuse to do terrible shit to one another. I don't know how many people have heard about this girl in Oklahoma who was raped, went to the hospital, and the doctor refused her services, refused her emergency contraception based on the doctor's religious beliefs. Now, apparently it was a sin to give her this. I want to read the first line of the Hippocratic Oath that this doctor took when she graduated medical school and officially became a doctor. And it goes like this. I swear by Apollo the physician, and Asclepius and Hygiena, and Panacea, and all the gods and goddesses, making them my witness, that I will fulfill according to my ability and judgment this oath and this covenant. I hope you're with me so far, because that seems to me like vowing an oath to gods that a Christian wouldn't believe in. I mean, that would seem to me to be a form of blasphemy, also a sin. And you never can get a question out of a Christian. If you ask them, you know, well, you sin. Well, one sin is no worse than the other. But then they see a gay guy who wants to get married, or a young girl who is raped who is terrified that she might be pregnant with her rapist child. Could you imagine? Could you imagine your wife, your daughter, your mother, your sister coming to term and living with, or having to go through the process of giving away the life that was put into her unwillingly? There could be no excuse for such an egregious, disgusting, foul breach of basic human decency. Anyone who considers themselves a Christian should be very upset by this. I personally don't think that somebody who swears an oath to Apollo and to all the gods and goddesses, if there is a God, and if that God happens to be the Judeo-Christian one of the Baptist born-again faith, if that is the one true path, I think that they might have something to answer for, to swear an oath to a God that they deem false. And that giving a girl who is raped medical treatment to save her from 9 months of an unwanted pregnancy and a lifetime of knowing that she brought the life of her rapist seed into this world, I think that the sin of swearing to a false God that you don't believe in, probably a little more serious, because it makes you a liar, it makes you a blasphemer, an idolater, and then denying this girl the medical coverage and care and fucking compassion. Where is the compassion? That's the worst part of this. You claim to follow the Lord Jesus Christ, the great physician, the healer, the man who rose the dead, the one who said to love your brother as thyself. To have an absolute lack of compassion is the most sickening violation of the code that you claim to live by, not just in your professional life, but in the religion that you profess to follow. Doctor, whoever you are, I hope you see this. I hope a lot of people see this, and I hope that you think. I hope you stop and you think. Shame on you. Shame on all of you and anyone who behave in such a terrible manner. You're all terrible people. I would encourage that the medical associated, whoever oversees the doctors of this country, if anybody's even doing it at this point, the American Medical Association would look into this. When you take an oath to ease the suffering and to cure the wounds of the injured and the dying, if you would turn away the victim of such a terrible crime, then you don't deserve to live. You are the worst kind of excuse for life. I would encourage anyone who sees this to call their local news, call the national news, make people aware that this is going on. This is what's going on the church, down on the corner of your street. This is the kind of thing that they're teaching to each other, to their kids. And when they take your kid to the vacation Bible camp or to the weekend getaway, this is the kind of things that they put into their head. 1984 was a terrifying glimpse of the world that we're headed for. 1939, on the other hand, really happened. And it's happening again. And with each and every little law we pass that allows pay cuts for women, denial of services, allows them to say who and who can't get married, what constitutes a right and righteous love, we're taking one small step by marginalizing anybody in this country. One small step right back to 1939. I hope everybody who sees this thinks about it and pass it around. Talk about it. Say something to someone. And for anyone who calls himself a Christian and supports politicians and supports preachers, supports anyone who tells you that somebody else's rights just aren't worth as much as yours, that their love isn't as valid as yours, that somebody's a sinner or a whore, look in the fucking mirror.